Pete, don't hover like that. You're making me nervous.
How's Richard?
Actually, he's been kidnapped by aliens. He's on Venus, I think.
Good.
Pete, relax. David's seeing everyone. This isn't a personal vendetta, you know.
You should see all the empty desks down there. Place is more like a morgue. They're calling in the Grim Reaper.
That's not fair. It's head office policy. Anyway, why should they lay you off? For goodness sake, you've been here 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, this is worse than waiting for the dentist. I don't suppose he's let anything slip.
Now, am I likely to tell you, even if he had?
John's gone, isn't he?
You're too impatient. You'll know in due course.
Oh, come on, Maggie. It's all over the building. He comes up here, spends 10 minutes with David, nobody sees him again.
You make it sound like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, well, dinner with Hannibal Lecter would be preferable to this.
You can go in.
Right. Wish me luck.
Don't worry. If you're not out in 10 minutes, I'll call Jodie Foster.
Funny.
Come in. Pete, how are things?
Oh, fine, thanks.
Maggie, I don't want to be disturbed for 10 minutes. Sit down. Coffee black with one, yes?
Yes, thanks.
How's Kate?
Oh, she's fine. She's expecting.
Oh, well, you've kept that very quiet.
Well, you know, first 3 months and all that.
Well, that calls for a celebration. I haven't anything stronger, I'm afraid, so it'll have to be strong coffee. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Jamie must be, how old now? 2?
No, he's 3. He goes to nursery school next term.
Time flies. Pete, I'll come straight to the point. It's been a very difficult time for all of us. About the most unpleasant I've ever experienced. As you know, we've already lost 15 people.
16. It's 16, including John.
Oh, John Harris. Oh, John Harris is being transferred to Crawley.
Oh, sorry. Bit of a rumour factory down there.
Yes, I'm aware of the atmosphere downstairs. These are tough decisions. They are bound to create uncertainty. And I'm afraid we're not ready yet to dispense with the dreaded axe. That's a little insensitive, but you know what I mean. As you know, I'm under a lot of pressure from head office to complete the rationalization plan. I have till the end of this month to report back slimmer and fitter.
That's why I wanted to see you. How long have we known each other?
David, I mean, you were at his christening. You stood there as a family friend. 10 years I've given to this company. 10 years of my life. Well, that might not mean anything to this company, but it should mean something to you. I'm never going to forget this, David. I'm going to send you an invite to the repossession.
Pete.
You knew, Maggie. You knew.
Pete! I think I should ring his wife.
here.
Where did you come from?
Aberdeen, originally. An awfully long time ago. Oh, 360 years ago, to be absolutely precise. Oh, please.
Look, I didn't see you getting a lift.
You were a little overwrought. This'll make you feel better.
Thanks. Look, I think the lift's stuck.
No, I don't think so. Descending, I would say. 2:30, Peter.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
No, not yet. I'm a teacher.
What do you teach?
Well, I suppose you could say I teach consequences. Yes, that sounds rather nice. I teach consequences.
So how do you know my name?
I know everything. Positively everything. At least I think I do. Of course, there may be some things that I don't know, but I don't know that I don't know them. Which is the funny thing about knowledge, really. You don't know that you don't know a thing until you know it. Which is essentially why you're here.
Why, I'm here.
Here, with me. Ah, we've arrived. Right on time. I think. Well, come on, don't dawdle. We've a lot to do.
What is this?
Well, it's an alley in Birmingham.
You're joking.
No, I don't joke. I can't tell them very well, you know.
Look, I'm sorry, I got into a lift in London and I get out in Birmingham. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, essentially. Well, entirely as a matter of fact. It's a spatial aberration, a suspension of consciousness, that sort of thing. It's all very complicated. And look, we really must hurry. We don't want to miss the important bit.
Have I died?
No. No, I don't think so. Well, definitely not.
Then I'm dreaming.
No, not really. Not at all, actually. Look, could we talk about this later, please? Please. You see, we judge things according to our own experience. Now, we sometimes fail to fully understand the other person's predicament. So we must experience that and thus learn. You see what I mean?
No.
No. Well, there's no point in rushing things.
I'd like just to go over the figures to make sure that you're totally happy with the monthly repayments. Now, you've got an existing loan on the car for £120 a month, and you say that there's some £200 on the credit cards.
It takes a little getting used to. Oh, don't worry, you can't meet yourself. That'd be inconsistent. Even I have some limitations.
How long will it take to go through?
Well, obviously, we'll push it through as quickly as we can, and providing everything's in order, it shouldn't take very long at all.
I used to work here.
Yes.
So, what's the bottom line?
£250 a month. Now, this includes creditor protection, which means that if you can't work because you're sick, or if you have an accident, or if you lose your job, then your payments will be made for you.
That's an awful lot of money.
The protection's optional, isn't it?
Yes, it's entirely up to you whether you take it or not.
Well, how much without it?
225.
Well, that's a bit better. We want to keep the payments as low as possible.
Yes, I can understand that.
Well, I've just been promoted, so I'm not likely to lose my job.
Does everybody have creditor protection?
No, it is a matter of personal preference.
We'll go without it.
Why are you showing me this?
Have some patience, just for once.
Explain. You didn't warn me, did you? It's a matter of personal preference. That's what you say. Like it was nothing more. Personal preference. Like buying a shirt. You made a decision. You knew what could happen and you didn't tell me. I explained to you what it meant. Not really. You said what you had to and no more because you didn't want to frighten me off, did you? Did you?
A short while after the agreement went through, he got contracted pneumonia. He was off work for 3 months. 6 months after he went back, they made him redundant.
That is not my responsibility.
You people are all the same. Do you know what it's like to sit on the other side of that desk? Well, I'll tell you. When I come in your office, I know nothing. I don't even know you, so I have to trust you because I have no choice.
You made a decision.
I made the wrong decision, trusting if I got it wrong, you'd see me all right, and you didn't. You didn't advise me.
Look, I can't be held responsible for this.
Responsibility. That's a big word. Pete, you have a duty of care. If you neglect that duty, even for a moment, then some of the blame must, in all fairness, attach to you.
I did not neglect my duty. I want to go back.
We all want to go back, friend. Freddie doesn't work like that.
Consequences, Pete. A single innocent action triggers a whole chain of unforeseen events. Once the journey begins, there's no turning back. It's called fate. When people lose their jobs, it isn't long before they lose their self-respect, the sense of identity, that feeling of self-worth that keeps us all sane. Hard to imagine unless it's happened to you.
Well,
Well, they've had over 100 applications.
what's that supposed to mean?
It means I don't stand a chance, all right?
Oh, you don't know that.
Look, there's guys there with 20 years' experience. Why should they look at me?
You've got to sell yourself. You give up too easily.
How do you know? Sorry, were you there? Well? What's this?
They're looking for labourers on that building site in New Road.
I've told you I work in an office. I'm not a navvy. It eats you up inside. You spend your life here and now. You're no good for anything you go for. After a while, you start believing it. You start thinking you can't hack it anymore, like you never were any good. You just kidded yourself all along, you know? When you got no money, you're nobody.
Who's this?
I'm from City Collections. I have authorisation to remove valuables from the property to the value of £2,000.
What?
He's a bailiff.
I know what he is. I don't know anything about this.
We wrote to you a fortnight ago giving you the statutory notice. Understand you've been contacted by everyone who's lent you money. I presume you've seen the letters?
What letters? What letters?
I didn't want to worry you.
Where are they? Where are the letters?
I threw them away.
You threw them away? Why? I don't believe it. What did you think was going to happen? You thought it would all just go away?
No, I'm not stupid.
So what did you think?
I don't know.
I need to make a list of the most valuable items.
So make it. You just hope, don't you? You just hope something will turn up. Why don't you get a job?
You're always on, like I'm doing nothing. You think I'm not trying?
I mean any job. Sweep the streets.
Oh, I'm not having this argument again.
You never will. It's okay for me to take a menial job that pays next to nothing, but not you. You've got your pride. Well, you're not so proud you mind them taking the roof from over our heads, because that's what'll happen. Your pride'll cost us this house.
It's not a question of pride. We'll cope.
We're not coping. This is real. This is a bailiff taking away our lives. It doesn't get any more real than this, and you say we'll cope.
We have no choice.
You have a choice. Your pride or our future. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
The right job will come along. It has to.
And what happens in the meantime?
I don't know. A couple of weeks later, she collapsed. I took her in a hospital. The doctor said it was under pressure. It's a joke. Under pressure? Of course not. Why'd she be under pressure, huh? It's just our whole life falling around us, that's all. I could have done more. But you don't see it. Too busy just coping.
Look, I don't think this is a question of blame.
So, what do you think?
Well, it's sad. It's very sad, but it's just circumstance.
Try telling him that losing his house was just circumstance.
Oh, look, this is rich. I mean, unemployment, illness, repossession in the space of what, a few months? You can't expect me to believe this fantasy, this fantasy!
What do you think you are? You know everything, do you? You read the papers, you watch television. It's no fantasy. Those are real people. People like me. People whose problems you can't even begin to imagine. Fantasy. I told you we'd be wasting our time.
Tell me, do you think it's all right for you to make mistakes so long as you're not caught out?
No, of course not.
And don't you think those people would have been helped if you'd managed to persuade them to take predator protection?
Yes, of course.
People stretch themselves. They buy the biggest house they can afford, take out loans to furnish it, and feed themselves on their credit cards. The slightest upset can lead to disaster.
Yeah, well, if they thought a bit more carefully, perhaps they wouldn't bury themselves.
Perhaps you should help them to think more carefully. Isn't that why you're charged with the duty of care?
It's not my job to protect people from themselves.
Is it your job to protect your company from bad debts? Because if you think about it, it amounts to the same thing.
What are you doing?
Can't take any more. They've taken my furniture, my jewellery, my clothes. They've even taken my house.
So you're going to leave?
I can't stay.
That's easy, isn't it?
No.
The easy way is to walk out. What's hard is to stay. To stay and build our lives again, that's hard.
I've spent months trying to rebuild our life. While you've sat around feeling sorry for yourself, cursing your company, the bank, the building society, blaming everybody except yourself, and no, it's not easy leaving you. Because despite it all, I still love you.
Yeah, sure.
God knows why, but I do. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I just can't stay.
Mary, don't do this.
It's done.
Mary, please.
No, don't. Please don't. Please don't.
You still think I'm to blame, don't you?
I'm not saying you could have spared them all of the problems, but mortgage loan, credit card. And they could have done without the pressure of having to meet repayments for a while. A little space to find their feet. Do you think you exercised your duty of care fully and completely?
Maybe I could have explained it a little better.
Ah, a chink of understanding.
I probably should have disagreed with their decision. Dealt with their objection rather than just accepting it.
Leaps and bounds. Oh, Pete, you've made an old teacher very happy. You know, we all have to learn by experience. You're very lucky.
How's that?
You've learned by someone else's. We could have done all this rather differently. You wouldn't have liked it at all, I promise you.
No, I can imagine.
No, don't think that for a moment. We none of us can imagine that illness and unemployment can have such devastating consequences. Your customers least of all.
He'll probably be all right in the end. Get another job, go back to his wife, even get round to starting a family.
consequence. One mistake. The whole train of events that led to the final tragedy. You have reached the end of your journey, followed our fateful road to its terrible conclusion. Now you can return a wiser man. You will not remember the details of your journey, but you'll never forget the lessons you've learned. Go back to your job, Pete.
I've got a job.
Oh, but you have. You have a very good job indeed.
Pete, are you okay?
Sorry? Oh, I'm fine. Sorry.
Would you like some water?
No, I'm fine. What were you saying?
Well, I was asking you how long we've known each other.
I don't know. 10 years?
Well, in all those years, I've always wanted to do this.
Do what?
I want you to be my number 2, assistant manager. It was between you and John. John got Crawley. You're stuck with us lot. What do you say?
Pete?
You knew, Maggie, and don't tell me you didn't.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks. Now, if nobody minds, I'd like to go home and tell my wife.
Just don't bring her on all premature.
She's only 6 weeks gone.
I know how impatient you can be.
Never again. Nope. Never again.
Makes you think, doesn't it?